What we're facing, and you'll be tackling, is not just scattered misconduct. It's not bureaucratic inefficiency in the terms that have been used in the past. It's not an accounting error. It's organized theft on a national scale. And you have this situation like Minneapolis where the Somali community figured out a way to do it to the tune of billions. And it's not limited just to that example, but I just think it's a tip of the iceberg. The federal government loses $1 trillion a year in fraud. This is money taken away, as I mentioned, from American workers.
Senator Schmidt.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. McDonald, if confirmed, you're going to be tasked with leading the DOJ's efforts to investigate, prosecute, and remedy fraud affecting the federal government. Is that correct?
Yes, working with other partners within the DOJ, yes, Senator.
That's great to hear. I do think that this issue of fraud and the epidemic is one of the most pressing issues that we can face as a country. Luckily, we have a president who agrees with that, who didn't just identify the problem last night. He declared war on fraud. And I think that's exactly what this moment demands. What we're facing, and you'll be tackling, is not just scattered misconduct. It's not bureaucratic inefficiency in the terms that have been used in the past. It's not an accounting error. It's organized theft on a national scale. People scammed the system. They saw vulnerabilities. They took advantage of it to the tune of billions and billions of dollars. And I think about the guy swinging the hammer or driving the truck who works his tail off and sends his money to Washington, D.C. that goes out the door. And you have this situation like Minneapolis where the Somali community figured out a way to do it to the tune of billions. And it's not limited just to that example, but I just think it's a tip of the iceberg that we have to address. And so it could be that the federal government loses $1 trillion a year in fraud. And if you think about it, if we got that under control for like a decade, that would make a big difference. I mean, $1 trillion is $1 trillion, and it adds up. And this isn't an abstract. This is money taken away, as I mentioned, from American workers. In a normal country, losing $1 trillion worth of fraud would trigger an emergency action. But in this town, it may trigger a hearing, but after that, silence. And I think that's where you come in and the work that you're going to do with other federal prosecutors. I'm glad that the President has tasked Vice President Vance, presumably to work with you and kind of help lead this effort as well in mobilizing a national effort to take this on. I think President Trump is changing the structure of Article 2 to go after fraud, and not a moment too soon. Fraud today is industrial. It's coordinated. It exploits federal grants, welfare programs, immigration systems, Medicare, Medicaid, tax credits, subsidies, donor platforms, and nonprofit pipelines. It's sophisticated. It's data-driven. It moves faster than any bureaucracy that has been established. And for far too long, enforcing that has been reactive, fragmented, and hesitant. I can just tell you as a former prosecutor, former attorney general, this sort of pay-and-chase model, it doesn't work. And I think that, unfortunately, and I don't know why, only one party in this town seems to be concerned about it. This should be a bipartisan issue. I can't actually believe that it isn't. But yesterday, when the President announced this historic effort, the other side sat stone-faced. Much like they did when the President asked a very simple question: do you think the federal government is here to protect American citizens or illegal aliens? Stand up if you believe that. Republicans stood up, Democrats didn't. I actually can't believe that's where we're at right now. But it's where we're at right now. And you look at Minnesota specifically, where efforts to crack down on fraud were met not with support, but with accusations of fascism and racism. Fraud networks operate because they believe the risk is low and the reward is high. That's an incentive structure. And wars are fought by changing incentives, and that's what we're going to do with this war on fraud. My advice, for what it's worth, be aggressive, prosecute relentlessly, and recover the assets on behalf of the American people. I know you're up for the challenge. I was glad to see that an experienced person like you's been put in charge here. And to my Democrat colleagues, this shouldn't be partisan. Good Lord. Your constituents in blue states pay taxes, and they're being ripped off too. I can't believe it. We all represent everybody in our states, this shouldn't be partisan. And I think people expect, there's something also, in addition to the money that's at stake here, which is sort of one final note, it's the trust of the American people. When that trust is eroded and people feel like there's just no accountability for this stuff, people lose hope, they lose faith. They think that their vote doesn't actually matter. And that's what I hear about a lot. They say, what in the world are you guys doing up there when something like this happens and there's no consequences? So just briefly, could you just talk about your approach to this, how you see it, and how you intend to regain that trust of the American people?
Thank you, Senator, and thank you for that advice. And I would say the word relentless, which you used, that word may just well become the motto of the National Fraud Enforcement Division. We will be relentless. We will live every day with tenacity to follow the facts, to find where the fraud is occurring, and to do our absolute best to illuminate the criminal actors that are stealing from the American taxpayer. I will be working, what I will do is I will work with the entirety of the Inspectors General community, with any willing partner, anyone, to come together to put the best minds on this problem set to solve it, both with respect to the security protocols on the front end to ensure that the money does not go out the door where it shouldn't, but then on the back end with the Department of Justice of prosecuting those who are in fact engaged in the fraud. It'll take a whole team effort, and I enjoy building teams. I enjoy building processes and systems to ensure that the attorney in the courtroom has all of the resources and the foundation in place to do well and be confident to represent the United States in court. I enjoy building teams and doing that work. That's what I will do in this new position if confirmed.
Wish you all the best. Godspeed to you, sir. Thanks.
Thank you.